And when you look up naked in a dictionary, it also has a connotation to be without some accessory, qualification, or belonging, which is customary or natural. And God asked, who told thee that you were without accessories, that you were without qualifications, and that you were without belonging? Who told you this? Who cast doubt in your mind? O woman, who cast doubt in your mind that you were naked, that you were less than you were created to be? Satan. Satan created this deception. Who told you, woman, that you were not enough the way you were created? That's a question we all need to ask ourselves, because there are thousands of books out here telling us how to be fulfilled, pointing us in so many different directions on how to find our purpose, how to find what God has created us to be. But he has it right here in his word, perfectly. So the serpent accomplished his goal. Okay? Let's look at Genesis 3. Going back to Genesis 3. And we're going to go up some, or to our earlier part, before she sinned. And we're going to look at their conversation. In Genesis 3 and 5, Satan is telling Eve, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Now let's look at some things here. First of all, let's look at the word eyes, or the concept of that their eyes were opened. In the Strong's Concordance, eyes is 5869. And with the vine included, it has a little bit more explanation of this phrase. And it says, eyes are used figuratively of mental and spiritual abilities, acts, and states. So the opening of the eyes in Genesis 3 and 5 means to become autonomous by setting standards of good and evil for oneself. Okay, let me bring that, let's look at that one more time. It says that it means to become autonomous by setting standards of good and evil for oneself. This is what Satan proposed to Eve. That you, by eating of this fruit, will be as God. You will be as rulers, as magistrates, possessing divine power. And you will set your own standards for good and evil. But did not God create man and woman after his image and likeness? Again, who told thee that thou wast naked? Now, we looked at the eyes being opened, and it used the word autonomous. Let's look at the word autonomous. In the dictionary again, okay, it states that autonomy means the power, right, or condition of self-government. Not God government or God's commands, but self-government. To be on your own. Practical independence. with nominal subordination. That means very little submission. So he promised her a life of this independence, of self-centeredness, of individualism, of selfishness. This tree can make you wise. You will be as the ruler. But did he not give Adam and Eve dominion over the earth already? Again, woman, who told thee that thou wast naked? This is what we need to ask ourselves. And in today's time, we need to ask ourselves, who told you you were not fulfilled? Who told you that you were less than you were created, what you were created to be? This is part of Satan's deception and tearing down the body of the Messiah and the kingdom of God. So the question we may ask ourselves, though, is, well, what's wrong with being independent? Shouldn't we, want to know how to do things for ourselves and know how to govern ourselves and be in self-control? Yes, to an extent, there's a difference in that. It's a difference with having self-control and walking strong in the Messiah and knowing what his will is for you and doing what his will is, to doing what you want to do and being strong in your own willpower and being strong in your own self-will. See, our ultimate goal in life is to learn how to lay down our will to perform God's will. It's to lay down our lives for the brethren, for those who are calling upon his name. So that is something that we have to do daily, Christ said. And it is a daily fight between the self and the us. When God created man and woman, he created man and woman to have dominion together over the earth, to dress and keep the garden together, to be fruitful and multiply together, to eat of the vegetation and so on together. In the beginning here, we don't see any divisions of work or careers or anything else. We see a union, a holy union. And they were also created in the image and likeness of Elohim. So let's continue. Let's continue and see what from the beginning was woman's purpose. Let's go to Genesis 1:26. It says, "And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. So they both were created in the image and likeness of God. Now, what does this mean? Now, the brethren have lessons regarding this matter, but overall, it's talking about having a righteous walk, to walk in righteousness as mankind, to walk as God walked, with bowels of mercy and compassion and righteousness, not in our own self-will, in our own conceit, and our own lusts of the flesh.